Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. Your life is not out of order because the world is unfair. It's not out of order because you didn't get the right opportunities, or because someone broke your heart, or because you were born in the wrong city or raised by the wrong people. Your life is out of order because you haven't claimed authority over it. Because you've been reacting, not commanding. You've been surviving, not designing. You've been waiting on a better season instead of becoming the architect of a better reality. And here's the truth you need to let pierce through the noise of every excuse you've ever made. Order is not something you stumble upon. Order is something you demand. It is the result of decisions made with clarity, actions taken with conviction, and standards that refuse to negotiate with weakness. You want to change your life? You want peace in your mind, purpose in your day, and power in your voice? Then let today be the funeral for your chaos. Let today be the day you stop handing your destiny over to distraction. Let today be the day you reclaim the throne of your own mind. Because the secret to getting your life in order has nothing to do with magic and everything to do with mastery. Mastery over your time. Mastery over your thoughts. Mastery over your emotions, mastery over your focus. This is what the greats understood. Andrew Carnegie built an empire not because he had more hours in his day, but because his minutes were aligned with his mission. Thomas Edison didn't stumble on 10,000 failures. He structured his entire life around the obsessive pursuit of one outcome, the light bulb. That wasn't luck. That was order, mental order, life order, soul order. And so the first strategy to get your life in order is simple, but brutal. Kill the noise. And I don't just mean external. I mean internal noise. The cluttered thoughts, the what-ifs, the invisible anxiety that floats in your chest when you wake up and forget who you are. Silence the voice that tells you you're not ready. Silence the notifications that steal your focus before the day even begins. Silence the addiction to meaningless stimulation. The average man checks his phone before he checks in with his own soul. And you wonder why your life feels scattered? You can't find order if your attention is always under attack. Carve silence into your morning like a sculptor carving stone. Before the world grabs you, grab yourself. Sit, breathe, think, write, visualize. Begin your day as the commander of your mission, not as a soldier to someone else's agenda. The second strategy is this. Command your environment. You want to know why some people rise while others rot? Because some understand the power of atmosphere. Your space speaks, your room, your desk, your calendar, your habits, your friends. They are all part of your personal ecosystem. And if they are not engineered to support your growth, they are engineered to kill it. When Henry Ford began building his vision, he eliminated everything that didn't serve the direction he was going. He removed distractions. He removed doubters. He made his life into a workshop of purpose. You can't expect to become focused in a house of disorder. You can't rise like a warrior if you sleep like a sloth. Clean your room, clean your car, clean your digital life. Don't just declutter your space. Purify it. Make it sacred. Make it intentional. Make it your arena. And the third strategy, decide what matters. Because the greatest threat to an ordered life is not failure. They chase likes instead of legacy. They chase urgency instead of meaning. But you are done with. You don't have time to live another year that looks like last year. So define your values. What are you building? What will matter on your deathbed? What do you want your days to echo after you're gone? Burn the list of what everyone else is doing. Write your own code. Live by it with honor. Because without values, you're a feather in the wind. But with values, you are an oak in the storm. Now lean in, because the fourth strategy is this. Own your mornings like your life depends on it, because it does. You either run your morning or your morning runs. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be intentional, and nothing changes until your mornings do. Wake up before the world needs you. Wake up before the noise creeps in. Wake up with a plan, a ritual, a fire already lit inside of you, even if it's just 30 minutes. Use that time to align with your purpose. Read, write, pray, move your body. Silence your thoughts, feed your soul. Winners don't stumble into great days, they engineer them. And it starts when the sun is still asleep. Let everyone else sleepwalk through their morning. You rise with intention, because order is not found, it is forged. Keep going. We're not done yet. You're building a life that doesn't fall apart when the winds blow. You're stepping into the structure that success lives inside, and we're just getting started. The fifth strategy is brutal, but it's the cornerstone of all self-mastery. Discipline your emotions before they discipline you. Your feelings are not facts. Your impulses are not commands. You are not the child you once were, living life ruled by hunger, reaction, and fear. You are a builder now, a sculptor, a commander. And the commander doesn't follow the mood of the army, he leads them. Every empire that fell from within, not because of an outside enemy, but because the walls were left unguarded. That's how most lives collapse. Not because of one great tragedy, but because of repeated emotional indulgence. You felt tired, so you quit. You felt afraid, so you hesitated. You felt offended, so you exploded. And every time you obeyed those emotions, you gave them control over your destiny. No more. You are not your anxiety. You are not your anger. You are not your self-doubt. They may knock at your door, but you don't have to let them move in. Discipline means standing firm in truth even when your feelings betray it. It means doing what must be done, not what you feel like doing. Walt Disney was rejected over 300 times. Did he collapse into his emotions? No. He built a kingdom out of rejection. That's emotional order. That's power. That's the kind of steel you forge when you choose principle over panic. Now let's talk about the sixth strategy. And this one will shake the very ground you walk on. Cut ties with what weakens you. Immediately, relentlessly, without apology. This is not cruelty. This is clarity. Your life cannot take shape in the presence of anchors that keep dragging you down. Toxic people, endless scrolling, old habits, old stories, old identities. You can't get your life in order if your past keeps renting space in your mind for free. You want elevation? Then you need separation. Look at every area of your life and ask, does this energize me or drain me? Does this align me or distract me? Does this make me stronger or softer? If the answer is negative, it goes. No negotiation, no guilt, no waiting for a better time. Even Abraham Lincoln, in the midst of national war and personal turmoil, knew how to cut what didn't serve his higher mission. He didn't run from hard decisions. He faced them like a warrior of purpose. You must do the same, because the next level of your life is allergic to your old excuses. It cannot coexist with the weight of what was. Cut it, cleanse it, clear the path. The seventh strategy, take ruthless ownership. Everything in your life is your responsibility. Not your fault, maybe, but always your responsibility. Blame is the language of the powerless. Responsibility is the anthem of the unstoppable. You were lied to? Good. Now you know the truth. You were hurt? Good. Now you know how to heal. You were overlooked? Good. Now you know how to over-deliver. Every hardship handed to you was not a curse. It was a curriculum. It trained your vision, sharpened your resolve, prepared you for authority. Look around you. Every area of chaos is waiting for you to take command. No one is coming to save you, and that is the most liberating truth you'll ever embrace. Because if no one is coming, then that means you hold the power, and power is all you need to restore order. Andrew Carnegie once said, "The man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." Ownership of the mind, that is where it begins. So stop giving your energy to what you can't control and double down on what you can. Your thoughts, your focus, your effort, your choices, your alignment, own those, and you will shape the rest. Now let's move deeper. Because the eighth strategy is one that separates dreamers from achievers. Build systems that protect your progress. Let me ask you, what good is a burst of motivation if you keep falling into the same holes every week? What good is vision without structure? What good is clarity if it lives in a mind surrounded by chaos? Success isn't found in emotion. It's found in system. It's found in the small, boring, disciplined decisions you repeat even when no one is watching. Wake up at the same time. Plan your day the night before. Keep a calendar. Keep a journal. Track your progress. Audit your habits. Automate what drains you. Eliminate what distracts you. Reinforce what drives you. This is how great empires are built, not in bursts, but in brick-by-brick consistency. Thomas Edison had systems for experimentation. Benjamin Franklin had systems for moral alignment. You want order? Then live like a builder. Live like a man who is going somewhere, not drifting anywhere. Because when your systems are stronger than your moods, your life becomes unstoppable. And now we enter sacred ground. Because the ninth strategy is one few will ever master, live with urgency but not with panic. Every moment is sacred. Every breath is an investment. You are not promised next year. You are not even promised tomorrow. But you have now, and now is enough to change everything. Too many people live like they have time. They waste decades waiting for the right moment. They wait until they're ready. They wait until the fear goes away. They wait for clarity to arrive like a guest knocking at the door. But clarity comes from motion. Purpose is discovered in the process, not before it. You must move. You must act. You must live like the clock is ticking. Because it is. This isn't about fear. This is about fire. You are not panicking. You are awakening. You are not rushing. You are rising. The samurai trained every morning as if it were his last. Not out of anxiety, but out of reverence. Reverence for the gift of today. Reverence for the opportunity to live boldly. And so must you. Live with urgency. Live with direction. Live with purpose that burns like the sun, not like a flickering candle. And finally, the 10th strategy. But this one ties them all together like steel. Make your life your message. Let every word, every step, every decision be a reflection of the vision inside you. Let your actions preach louder than your mouth ever could. Let your existence be a blueprint for the next generation to follow. You are not just here to survive. You are here to build, to lead, to shine, to serve. And order, true divine order, is what allows that greatness to emerge without distortion. Get your life in order. Not someday, not eventually, not when you feel like it today. Because today is the only day that ever mattered. And from this moment forward, the world will feel your shift. You're not coming. You have arrived. So now the question becomes, what are you going to do with this moment? Because a man who truly understands the power of now doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't wait for motivation. He doesn't wait for the world to calm down, for the weather to change, for the doubt to disappear. He moves, he decides, he builds while others scroll. He works while others talk. He sharpens while others sleep. Getting your life in order is not a weekend project. It's not a Monday resolution. It is a lifestyle shift, forged in fire, shaped by discomfort, driven by vision. And when you decide to live with that kind of intensity, every day becomes a weapon in your hands. Every hour becomes sacred ground. But here's the twist most people never realize. Order doesn't make your life smaller. It doesn't box you in. It doesn't steal your freedom. Order amplifies your freedom. It clears your path. It removes the noise so you can hear the signal. It unlocks the deepest parts of your potential, the parts that only show up when your life is aligned. Think of the great composers, the great artists, the greatest minds in history. Their freedom came from structure. Their flow came from form. Beethoven didn't wait until he felt inspired to write. He sat. He committed. He created. He made discipline the soil from which creativity could grow. That's the paradox of power. You don't become free by doing whatever you want. You become free by doing what's required, by living in alignment with your highest calling. And if your life doesn't yet reflect that calling, then let today be the revolution. Let today be the day you draw the line in the sand and say, from this moment forward, everything changes. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It doesn't need more wandering. It doesn't need more people lost in themselves. It needs you, fully awakened, fully aligned, fully in command. You don't need more time. You need more truth. You don't need more chances. You need more decisions. You don't need more approval. You need more conviction. And that conviction is forged in the fire of daily discipline, of choosing what matters most, again and again and again, even when it hurts, even when no one is watching, even when your old life screams for your attention. This is not just about getting organized. This is about becoming unshakable, about becoming the kind of man or woman who walks into any storm with steel in their eyes and fire in their chest. Not because life is easy, but because they are ordered. You were not created to drift. You were not designed to float aimlessly from one temporary fix to another. You were made to build, to stand tall in a world that keeps folding, to be the exception in a culture obsessed with excuses, to rise when others retreat, to lead, not follow, to command, not beg. Order is not for the weak. It is not for the comfortable. It is for the few who are done being ruled by emotion, laziness, and indecision. And if that's you, then welcome. You've just stepped into your higher self. Because the man with an ordered life is a dangerous man. Not because he seeks to destroy, but because he builds with such purpose that destruction cannot touch him. He walks with rhythm. He speaks with weight. He moves like a man possessed by vision, because he is. When you build your house on sand, one storm can ruin everything. But when you build your life on order, on discipline, clarity, focus, purpose, and truth, you don't just survive the storm. You become the storm. You shake the ground with your conviction. You bend reality with your decisions. You become so aligned, so locked in, so centered in your path that the world begins to shift around you. That's the kind of order we're talking about. Not spreadsheets and bullet journals, we're talking soul order, vision order, destiny order. You are not here to fix your life, you are here to forge it. So rise with the discipline of a warrior. Think with the clarity of a leader. Move with the intensity of a man on a mission and live with the kind of order that makes mediocrity impossible. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you were designed for is the decision to stop waiting and start commanding. And now we arrive at the threshold, the place where most men hesitate and only a few steps. This is the part where you either shrink back into the familiar chaos that's chained you for years, or you break those chains, one link at a time, with fire in your lungs and order in your mind. Because getting your life in order is not about perfection. It's about priority. It's not about doing it all. It's about doing what matters most, every single day without fail, without apology. The most powerful man in the room is not the loudest, not the richest, not the strongest. The most powerful man is the one whose life is aligned, whose time is governed by purpose, whose mind is immune to distraction, whose heart beats to the rhythm of vision, discipline, and truth. When Napoleon Hill studied the greatest minds of his generation, from Edison to Ford, Rockefeller to Carnegie, he discovered one thing they all had in common: definiteness of purpose. They knew where they were going. They knew why they were going. And they structured every ounce of their lives to serve that purpose. That is your challenge now. Not to chase 100 goals with shallow intent, but to lock in on one burning, unshakable, undeniable mission, and to make every decision answer to it. Does this action move me forward? Does this relationship fuel my vision? Does this habit reinforce who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, then it dies. No more hesitation, no more debating with weakness, no more bargaining with mediocrity. You are not here to negotiate your destiny. You are here to claim it. So burn the distractions, cut the drama, silence the noise, clear the space, sharpen the vision, and stand up like the future is waiting for you to show up, because it is. And the world is starving for men and women who live like this. People whose lives preach louder than any sermon. People whose morning routine is a war cry. People who walk through chaos untouched because their inner world is ordered like an empire. Be that person. The person whose calendar reflects clarity. The person whose words carry weight. The person whose presence demands respect not by force but by alignment. You want freedom? Get your life in order. You want peace? Get your life in order. You want to feel powerful again? Get your house in order, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Because when you live in alignment, you live in authority. And when you live in authority, life starts answering to you. There's a reason why the legends never folded under pressure. They lived with internal order. Lincoln under the weight of war. Edison in the face of endless failure. Mandela locked in a cell for 27 years, still led with clarity. That's not luck. That's structure. That's purpose. That's the power of a life that's been disciplined into greatness, and now it's your turn. You've been given breath today, not to waste, but to build. Not to scroll, but to sharpen. Not to wander, but to conquer. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more chaos disguised as a just figuring it out. From this moment forward, you walk different. You speak different. You think different. Because from this moment forward, you are not a man drowning in disorder. You are a builder of destiny, a commander of time, a master of decisions, a leader of self, and the life you've always wanted. It's not somewhere out there, it's buried inside the man you're becoming, so dig deep. Set fire to the old habits. Structure your days like your legacy depends on it, because it does. And step into the world like a storm dressed in order. This is your time, this is your day, this is your life. Get it in order and never look back.